guys, let's talk about skill number 3, how to present. When I learned that presentation's important, it all changed. Now, my background was in sailing, and so I knew that I needed to do good presentations for people to want to buy. And so I had to learn that skill. I remember reading books from the age of 19 and 20 on presentations, on how to sell, how to talk to people, and all that sort of stuff. But that was all about going in for the hunt, going in for the kill. We do things differently in network marketing because we need to educate. Remember that, we're the farmers, not the hunter. And what we want to do is educate. So the presentation's the same thing, but you need to take people on a journey. I used to watch the man who got me started, Rod Gilchrist, on him presenting to a crowd, and absolutely amazing. Incredible presenter. And the way that he would present, he'd have everyone just on the edge of their seats. Why? Because he learned to tell a story. Jesus, one of the great teachers that the world has ever seen, and I'm a Christian and I love him, but he would tell stories and parables. People love to hear stories, and they want to hear your story. So become good at telling your story. What is your story? Well, what was your background? Number 1. What was your background? Number 2, things that you didn't like about what was going on in your background and the life that was going on for you. And 3, how network marketing or Manatech came to the rescue for you, and then for the results. We also call it the dream, the struggle, and the victory. Dream, struggle, victory. So it may look something like this. I was involved in my past life before I got started with Manatech. I was always run down. We weren't earning enough money, but I thought I was doing okay. I had a corporate job. We thought we were moving forward, but it was not really going anywhere. I could see the writing on the wall at work because the board of directors were always having meetings about whether or not to keep the company open or not. But my real wake up came one day when I came home from work. My wife met me at the door and she said, "Honey, we need to buy a pair of shoes for our daughter Samara, but we don't have the money." That really helped me to understand that things weren't okay. I'd been living with my head in the sand for way too long and I needed to do something about it. So I stayed home for the next 3 days to figure things out. Well, 2.5 days at home. And what I found out was this. I had this thing in my hand called Manatech. And so I researched and I found a way that this might work. I got started building a business, and all of a sudden, over the space of a few short years, I've been able to build a business that's paying us hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're traveling the world, and our life has come back to us. Now, that's my story. But do you see how telling the story shows the problem, and it also helps break through and go on to the next thing? So your story might be that you've just gotten started. You got started because you had no money, no time, bills were piling up, you didn't like working where you worked, and you couldn't see a way forward. Someone introduced you to a company called Manatech, you looked into the products, loved what they had, and you knew that there had to come a day when you needed to make a choice to move forward, and you made that choice. Since getting started, you may have made your first $100, you may have earned a holiday, you may have helped somebody else make money. Whatever it is, that's your story. Become good at telling your story. Now, master the presentation. The other thing I learned was when I turned up to meetings, I would notice that the person with the marker, the person doing the presentation, was the one making the money. The person doing a webinar is the one making the money. So you want to be the one doing the presentation, right? Because if you're the one doing the presentation, then you're making the money. So become good at learning how to do a presentation. Within the Dual Networkers, we have napkin presentation you can use, PowerPoint presentations, and all those kind of things. Become good at doing a presentation. If you don't know how to do a presentation, meaning if you don't understand the flow of it, how can you expect somebody else to? So put time aside. Remember how I said ages ago about practicing. Put time aside to practice those skills on how to present, how to use a napkin presentation, how to use a PowerPoint presentation. Because when you put that time aside, you become better. You want to be the one with the pen. I remember my first time doing a presentation, my knees were knocking, I was terrified. I did such a terrible job. that at the end of my presentation, by the way, it lasted about 2 minutes because I forgot everything I was about to say. My upline needed to get up in front of the crowd, there was about 30 or 40 people there, and present for me. They needed to take over and fix my mistakes. That was so bad. Now, I'm sure that won't happen to you, but even if it does, that's your story. That's okay. I learned that to be the entrepreneur, to be the professional, I needed to work through that. Do the same. Learn how to present. The best thing, remember, is the concept of telling your story. Your story might be a product story, a testimony. Add that in. Let people hear your story. It'll make you money. It'll help them break free, break through, and move on to the next thing for their lives as well. Learn how to tell your story. Learn how to present. Remember, the person that's presenting is the one that's making the money. It doesn't have to be hard. You just have to practice. We've got videos that you can watch, hearing what other people are saying, telling their stories, doing napkin presentations. It's all there at your fingertips. That's the presentation. Also remember, be the messenger, not the message. Remember, use the library of information that we have. Be the librarian. If the person needs more information, that's okay. Give them something to listen to. Give them something to watch. Bring them onto a 3-way call with your upline, onto a webinar. Take them to an event, to a meeting. Allow that to build inside of them. Sure, there are techniques. There are strategies you can use to speed up that. But the best thing to do is to not pressure them. Take them on the journey. Remember, we're talking to you about concepts, because concepts don't change. Techniques do. And we'll teach you how to overcome some objections. Don't worry about that. That's in the next few videos that are coming up. But just remember, take people on the journey.